by TPN, Lusa, in news the 31st of January 2019, 8 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds 0. Comments Several Portuguese organizations are among more than 60 from various countries that have issued a call to boycott the Eurovision Song Contest this year, if it takes place in Israel as planned. Most of but not all of the organizations are defenders of the rights of LGBTQIA, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, assexual people. Among the signatories of the open letter are Portugal's civil rights group Academia Cidadã, the sexual rights defense group Signatories, the anti-LGBT phobia organizations Panteras Rosa and Path in the Coimbra section of UMAR, a women's rights group. As with the fight against apartheid in South Africa, it is only through effective and sustained international pressure that Israel will be compelled to fulfill its obligations under international law and respect the human rights of the Palestinians, the letter argues. In November, various Portuguese artists appealed, in a letter sent to public broadcaster RTP, which is responsible for choosing Portugal's representative for Eurovision, to boycott the finals in Israel. We join the growing appeals from around the world and ask members of the LGBTQIA community boycott the Eurovision Song Contest 2019, as long as Israel is the host, reads the latest letter, which was signed by organizations from countries including Germany, France, the US, Belgium and Honduras. This year, the Eurovision Song Contest is to take place in Tel Aviv, Israel, after the country won last year's competition, which took place last May in Lisbon, with the song Toy performed by Netabar's Ali Ali. The semi-finals of the contest are scheduled for 14 and the 16th of May and the final for the 18th of May. In June last year, several Palestinian cultural organizations called for a boycott of the competition, stressing that the Israeli regime of military occupation, colonialism and apartheid is blatantly using Eurovision as part of its official strategy, Brand Israel, which tries to show the most beautiful face of Israel, to whiten and divert attention from its war crimes against the Palestinians. In September, more than 100 artists from all over the world, including Portugal, expressed their support for that appeal. The latest appeal by more than 60 organizations now comes from nearly 20 countries. In addition to calling on the elements of the LGBTQIA community to boycott the competition, the associations urge that base movements, LGBTQIA companies, artists and NGOs of the participating countries protest against the holding of Eurovision in Israel and perform peaceful boycott actions. Quote, also on Wednesday, the BBC announced that it had received an open letter in which several leading creative figures, including fashion designer Vivienne Westwood, musician Peter Gabriel, director Mike Leigh and the band Wolf Alice, urged the broadcaster, which is responsible for choosing the UK's representative, to ask organisers to change the location of the 2019 edition.